was a moment I realized I trust men's dumb, uneducated opinion over my own knowledge. Let me give you some context for me literally listening to this hot dude who doesn't know what he's talking about over myself. And one of the reasons why I talk about stuff like this so much is that when we talk about decenter men, I'm not talking about like just stop centering romantic relationships with them if you are someone who dates them and is unfortunately attracted to them, to not like, make everything about them and their feelings and their shame. I mean, literally, like, stop putting the stupid stuff that comes out of their mouth that's not even informed over your own, like, hard-earned knowledge and experiences, okay? Because I got sick based on trusting this man who I knew was wrong over myself. So this was back when I was like, I don't know, 32 or something. Was working on a strawberry farm in Argentina. I know, it's random. It's a wolf program. It's a work exchange thing. I slept in a trailer, ate potatoes every day for like weeks on end and picked strawberries. And it was actually not a really great thing. But anyway, and I found out about this thing called like Moonflower or something, this like 7-day techno festival in Patagonia. And so I randomly meet this guy and this other guy and these two other people, a random French dude. These are all like Chileans and Argentinians. And they just let me go with them on this road trip to this techno festival. So this was the techno festival. I mean, look at this. Like, this doesn't get any better than this, right? But I'm still like learning Spanish. I had been taking a lot of Spanish classes before I went. But Argentinian Spanish is different than the Spanish I was learning in New Mexico from my Peruvian Spanish teacher, okay? Like the yo versus show, like whatever, it's different. It's just hard. Learning another language is hard. Anyway, so my dumb, reckless butt just showed up, and worked on stuff, whatever. I got by. Actually, it was whatever. There's like 15 videos I could make about this story. But I ended up at this techno festival with a bunch of people I just met, and it's a lot of like hippies in the mountains doing a lot of drugs. Lots of drugs, holding hands, doing yoga, like this was one of the dance of ecstasy. Okay, everyone was on that. Okay, everyone was on something except for me. Because I, at the age of like, was I 32 or 34? I don't even know. Was down there, child-free, single woman, living her best, reckless life. I only say reckless because I'm reckless. And, was hitchhiking all over and doing just what Melanie Hamlet does, I guess. They literally introduced me on stage when I tell stories. We can't believe she's alive. I know, I can't either. My poor mom. Anyway, one of the things I didn't do that I hadn't done since at least 10 years at this point was drink or do drugs, really, right? So, like, I'm not an addict. I just gave that stuff up, especially drinking a long time ago. So I can remember everything, okay? And all the bad decisions I make are sober. Imagine me drunk. So this whole place was really cool. Lots of cool people. But I was alone for 2 reasons. The people I was with were just lovely. I was alone because I could not understand fast enough. Because, people are always speak too fast when you're learning another language. So I couldn't keep up. So I couldn't really be the outgoing joke teller, storyteller. I was just like this silent, boring chick who just sat there, right? And then on top of that, everyone is also speaking another language, and that language is acid, right? Or shrooms or like something. But it's not what I'm speaking. I'm totally sober, so I'm just having the craziest, weird conversations with people about the sky and bears and whatever. So this is what we're camping. It's also like not techno music. Like I was thinking we're going to dance to like electronic techno, and I love, believe it or not, I'm the last person standing when I dance to techno. Totally sober. I love dancing. It gives me so much life. But this was not like, I don't know what, I forget the name for this. It was like metal techno. I hate metal. So this wasn't just like, dun, 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 dun. It was like, I hated it. So I'm like, oh great, people I can't talk to. Everyone, I'm the only sober person on this whole place. And I hate the music too. And I can never sleep because it never stops. I mean, again though, look at this setup. I mean, how can you complain, right? People dancing all day, all night. This was my little camp. This is like the French dude who was with us. Totally random. Just like me. They're doing this stuff, hippie stuff. This is my tent. That's my view. At night, there's just like neon stuff. Lots of stuff to make your eyes go, woo! And these were my friends that I went with who were really cool, but again, were on schmugs, something the whole time. So I couldn't really have, even though, and they could speak pretty good English, but they're speaking acid. You know what I mean? So again, it's just like, it was just like the cutest place. So I felt bad that I was like really in my head and lonely. But anybody who has lived in another country or traveled abroad solo and then also had a language barrier, you know what it's like. You're stuck in your head. And if you are like not doing so well, you're your own worst enemy, trapped in the prison of your head. It's not a fun place. Okay, and then saving grace, on like the third day of all this, I met these two dudes. These two dudes could speak English, but they were also climbers. Now, I was a big climber at the time, right? I'm still a climber, but I was a pretty big climber then. I had literally just a few weeks ago been climbing here. Like, look at this! Look at this! And so these guys weren't on like a lot of like, like, I mean, look at this bottle, okay? Like, it's not like they're not doing anything, but at least they're not speaking acid, right? And this is like my favorite part here. See, I was like, oh, I'm with my people. That's duct tape. This is how climber people repair our stuff. Just slap duct tape. If you can't, I immediately took a liking to the guy with the duct tape jacket. He was so hot, y'all. Look at me. Look at me. I look like I'm on acid. That's not acid. That is, hey, you're hot. Let's hook up. Oh, look at me. Look at me. No, like this is at like 6 a.m. or something as the sun's coming up. Look at me. I'm like, ah! Totally sober. Oh, a horny Melanie right there. Like, I look insane. I am. Okay, so here's the thing. I hooked up with that guy. And I was on the rag. He didn't care. My kind of guy, right? And so I was a little like, drunk on like hookup, whatever. Definitely not love, whatever. And here's the thing. So the next day I go swimming with these dudes. I mean, look at him. This is like duct tape jacket guy. Look at that. Look at that. So hot. We go swimming, have a good time. Remember this photo where I look crazy? See this water bottle right here? This is an Nalgene. And all outdoor people have these things, right? This super hot dude who was a climber, but still probably hasn't been doing this stuff as long as I have, because I don't know, it's probably like 5 years older than him or something. He takes this Nalgene and he dumps it in the river right next to the camp. And just starts drinking out of it and then offers it to me. Remember, this is the state I'm in. And I'm like, no thanks. I don't drink. That may have Giardia in it. And he's like, no, it doesn't. It's straight from up there. He's pointing to the mountains, right? So this is the river that he got this from, okay? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. Because here's the thing. I've had Giardia. If you don't know what that is, it is where your stomach gets stinged so much, your abdomen, that you look like you're pregnant. You fart out of your mouth. You throw up constantly. I had Giardia for 5 years. I know a lot about Giardia because I was the raft guide, this is me, in New Mexico. And one day I fell out of my boat, swallowed a lot of water, and for the next 5 years, could not get this thing out of my body. I literally could only eat rice cakes and steamed vegetables, peanut butter, and like I couldn't eat sugar, flour, agave, like nothing. I had the craziest diet for 5 years. I took Flagyl, which is some crazy thing that like makes you super sick and kills all of the bacteria. Like I could not get rid of this thing. And by the time I met this hot dude, I was finally rid of it. And in that moment, I thought, well, he's a climber. He's an outdoorsy guy. He probably knows. And I drank this thing. Despite literally spending a small fortune trying to get rid of this thing, it literally ruining my life for a long time because my health was so bad. I was so sick for so long because of Giardia. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, he probably knows better, even though he's not a raft guide for 5 or 6 years. Hasn't had Giardia, I guess. We come from different countries. We have different experience. Like, I literally gaslit myself and drank this stuff and got Giardia again. I got it because of this guy. Not because of him, but because of me. Because of me thinking that even with all my experience, literally being an outward bound instructor, a whitewater raft guide, working in the woods for a living, filtering, pumping water for a living so that I could drink safe water in one moment because I'd hooked up with this dude and he fingered me. I was like, he probably knows better. Well, this is Melanie, crazy on men, delusional about men, trusting men more than I trust myself. I don't care how hot he is. I don't care how confident he is. He probably doesn't know nearly as much as you do. Don't listen.